Hit record. So, yes, so in case you're wondering, we have Captain America cape, Superman cape, Batman cape, and a Spider-Man cape. And I'm pretty sure Spider-Man doesn't wear a cape. So good morning. Let's get weights and let's start with some really good posture. We rated the kids costume box last night, so we are in the capes. All right, let's get some step backs. So I want you to think about really good deep breath in as you come up and get your thumbs behind you. So thumbs behind you, good deep breath, and bring it back down. So keep this going. As you're doing this, I want you to make sure that you're trying to get your calf, or your heel down a bit more. So calf comes down or heel comes down. Oh my goodness, calf and heel, those are different things. I'm on it. I got this. But heel just trying to get down. If it doesn't come down, you're still a good person. Everything's amazing. You still deserve a cape. And I have plenty, one for everyone. But it's okay if you don't have that kind of mobility. All right. Get one more on each side, one more on each side. Maybe you should wear the cape for the workout. You can't see a cape is the thing. All right, and let's switch this up. So let's get into a nice wide stance. We're going to do this kind of side lunge. So I want you to first get into a really nice stance where you have your feet facing forward and maybe just a little bit in. Big toe is pushing down. All right, so now come on down with me. You're coming one side and then reach out, keeping shoulders back and down, and then come on back up to the middle, and then reach and over. So we're just gonna go one side to the other. You do not need to be looking at your feet. Once your feet are set, they're not moving, so you don't need to look down. So we're looking up so our eyes can follow out our hands. You should feel a good stretch through this trailing leg. And you should feel like you're getting your butt really sending back behind you. All right. Good. So I said we need a roller for this workout. We're not going to do any foam rolling, but we're going to use it right now. So we're going to get into a squat position. So for me, that's the exact same foot position. I'm going to go with a little bit of a wider squat. And then we're going to squat down to the roller and then twisting up. So just using the roller as our placeholder. If you only have a tall roller, you don't need to use it, or you have your roller down and coming from the ground if that is comfortable. So once you come down, twist up to both sides before coming back up. So you should get a good stretch through your groin. You should feel this through your ankle, through your back. I don't know, through your soul. All right, couple more. So you don't need to have your foam roller super low. You're warming up. No winning the warm up. Don't even try. And then let's switch this to a hinge. So we were in a squat. Now let's get into a hinge out to our roller. So for me, I'm going to put it out a little bit more so I can get my hands on it. What I'm doing now is fingers and hips going as far apart from each other as they can, and then coming back up. So we're getting both into a hinge and into a little bit of like a child's pose position where we get that stretch through our back, through our armpits, pushing heels back, and then coming back up. So go at your pace. That feels good. We're going to do this another 30 seconds. If you want to, again, you can put your foam roller down so you can get a little bit lower, whichever works for you. If it's down, you can sort of roll your hands out on it. We've got 15 more seconds, so get in 1 or 2 more reps, or maybe if you're not holding it as long, you'll get in 3. That's great. Whatever works for you. 3, 2. All right, so now let's take our foam roller. Actually, why don't you just watch me for a second? We're going to get into a dead bug position, but using our roller on our feet. So the dead bug position is when we are here. So I've got my knees hugged in. We don't want that. We want our knees up to the ceiling. So balancing our foam roller on our feet. Go ahead and get in that position with me. And then arms come up to the ceiling. All right, so we're gonna that arms up. We got our feet bouncing that roller. We've got our knees really pointing to the ceiling. So that really makes our roller want to come off. So our feet have to hold up. All right, so now we can get our right arm back and we can extend both legs. And then back. Now, if you're extending both legs and it feels like, ooh, that's hard on my low back, don't extend fully. Our abs are already engaged once our knees are up to the ceiling, right? We're holding that foam roller there. So once we're there, even if you just come out 2 inches and back, you are getting the work. So I don't want you feeling this in your low back. Let's see it, everybody. As long as you keep that foam roller balance on your feet, good. That's our party trick for this morning. If it rolls away, just put it back on and keep it going. Good, good, good. Looks good. We're gonna do 10 more seconds. So just get in a little bit more. Good. Foam rollers are flying. All right. 5 more seconds. If you need to, just stay in position. That's fine. 3, 2, all right, grab your foam roller, stay on your back, and we're gonna put our foam roller between our knees, and we're gonna do some glute raises with a squeeze. So if you have your foam roller between your knees, what I want you to do is as we lift, I want you to squeeze that roller like we're gonna get some juice out of it, all right? So come on up, lift and squeeze it, hold that squeeze, and then relax. Good. We're doing 30 seconds here. So I want you to come up and squeeze. If you want to squeeze a little bit longer, whatever works for you, squeeze it up and then come on down. When you're doing that squeeze, I want you to feel your glutes engaged. Also, your inner thighs should feel like they're doing some work. And you should get a little bit of a stretch through your hips there when you have that full extension. 10 more seconds. Nicely done. 3, 2. All right, let's get this foam roller on the ground, and we want to put our heels on it, staying on our backs, so we can get ourselves into a hamstring position. So we're going to do a hamstring lift. So if you have your heels on your foam roller and you're lying down totally flat on your back, you can get your hands now up above your head. So hands in a clap position, raised up. Now let's go ahead and push down on our heels, and our butt should come up off the ground, or kind of at least get less. Should feel this through your hamstrings. Relax. Now let's do the same thing, but let's get our big toes touching and squeeze it up. Good. Really push down through the heels. You should feel that through the back of your legs. Relax, and let's do it one more time with a 10-second hold. Here we go, pushing down on the heels. We're pushing for 10 seconds, so that means we've got 5 more seconds here. And 3, 2, relax. All right, before we get up, let's get into a low plank position. We don't need our foam rollers anymore, but we are going to do a push-up plank. So a push-up plank is when we start in that low position, we go to that high position, and then back to the low position while we try and keep our hips from going all over the place. So it's sort of like you're sneaking into that position, right? We can just sort of muscle our way into it and get really wobbly. We're not doing that. So everyone go ahead, low plank. Let's get into that low plank position. Yes, I see it. All right. And go for it. Nice lift. All right, perfect. I can see all of you. I see nice and slow lift. That's what we're looking for. If you're feeling like, wow, my hips are still really wiggling, widen your stance to get your feet a little bit wider. And then you should have a more stable base. Wider base, just like a triangle, right? Versus sort of a stick trying to stand up. All right, no pressure there. Don't crush the bruise. I guess you're just doing a high plank. I love it when the cats think, well, this tunnel is awesome. Thank you for the new toy. All right, there's 10 more seconds left. So keep this going. You might just get in a couple more reps. Don't forget to change your leading arm so only one arm doesn't get all the work. And 3, 2. Nicely done. All right. All right. Well, I appreciate how your cats make it more exciting for all of you in their workout. All right. So get a drink of water. Our first set, we are going to do squats with a single leg press and hinges with a clean. So I'll show you what that looks like. So for our squats, we're going to have squats on both feet. So we're going to come down, squat, and then the press is on the same side. Oops, that one wasn't great. So squat to press. And we'll do the same side for 20 seconds, and then we'll do the other side for 20 seconds. Then we will do a single leg hinge to a clean. So what that looks like is our weight is in the opposite side of the standing leg. So we will come down to that hinge and then clean. So we'll come down here. All right, everyone, get a weight. You might need 2 different ones, doesn't matter. But get a weight that you can hold up here in this racked position. So what I want you to do, since these aren't super heavy because we have to press it up, so I want to make sure you're not holding the weight to your chest and using your weight for balance. I want you to have it out so your bicep is working. And so the weight, it's not out here, right? But it's directly up from your wrist. This is an elbow, definitely an elbow. So you're holding it out, so you have to brace with the front of your body. All right. Everybody ready for those squats? Get our weights up. Here we go. We're going to do squat, and we're pressing, squat, press, good. Get that knee into that knee drive position, that march position, good. We're really working on nice and tall. So squeeze your glute when you're at the top here. So then you don't have this kind of thing happening where you're wobbling. And 3, 2, switch sides, and let's go to the other one. Squat to press. Squat, press. Good. Good. So the same side. Knee comes up, that the leg comes up. Excellent. And 3, 2, great. All right, done. Let's get in that clean hinge position. So the weight is in the opposite side of the working leg, the standing leg. All right. So I want you to really make sure these hinges look good in that we're not coming with our body open here. I don't know if you can see it with my weight, but we're not looking for this position. We're looking for this closed position. All right, here we go. Hinge. Whoops, hinge to clean. Good. We end up with that weight in the same racked position as we had it for that squat. That's our end position. When you really think about, feel like you're in that plank at the top. If someone came and put their hand on you here, they would be like, wow, is that a superhero suit you're wearing under there? Are those your abs? That's what we're looking for. Really engaged. All right. And switch sides. Switching sides. Here we go. Because you're having to brace to keep your back nice and long on these hinges, and then bracing to get that weight held up. All right, enough talky here. Let's just get into it. Good, keeping nice and long. You're not aiming for the floor. Your weight does not need to touch the floor. If you're doing that, then your chest is probably getting below your hips. You don't need to do that one. Good, and 5 more seconds. 3, 2, nicely done. All right, that one was good. I was falling all over the place. I don't know if you noticed that. Hopefully you didn't, because you were looking at yourselves or working on yourselves and not watching the screen. But you guys were doing some wobbling too, not as much as me. So that's good. If we're getting everyone perfect, then our balance, this is too easy. So if you were not falling, or if you were not, if every single one went perfectly, then it's time for a heavier weight. All right, let's get back to our squat to press. everyone into their good posture here, braced, weight is directly over your elbow. Here we go. Squat, press. Good. All right. Really push up. Good. 5 more seconds. And 3, 2, nicely done. Okay, other side, other side. Get that weight, get it over your elbow. Here we go. Squat, press, nice balance. Good. If your weight is starting to get hard by the end, then you picked a good weight. I noticed often people are using weights, not you guys, but in classes, people go to tend to use really light weights. You can do it 100 times. We're going for weights. We could only do this many times. 3, 2, 1. All right, those are done. Now, final set of those hinges. So get the weight that you are using for those hinge to cleans. These definitely don't need you to be perfect. If you get 80% of the reps really done nicely, that's what we're looking for. All right, here we go. Come on down, hinge, keeping that hip down, clean. Good. Don't be afraid to hold that balance up and down. So once you get into a good hinge, you can hang out there for a second. Once you get your good clean, hang out there for a second. Prove your excellent balance. What should be really working here. And 3, 2, go ahead and switch sides. All right, here we go. And nice. All right, everyone's got a little more wobbly side. Yes. Good. Because we save our wobblier side for the second. Always do that. We always start with our dominant side. When I remember, I have a switch, but I do it too. 5 more seconds. And done. All right. Nicely done, everybody. Our main set today, we are, tea is so glorious. Okay, we are going to have sumo squats. So that means if you have a 20-pound kettlebell and a 30-pound kettlebell, well, they probably don't even, well, 25 and a 35, let's just say, you can do both of those. So don't be afraid to have mismatching weights underneath, because for a sumo squat, you've got plenty of space and you have plenty of strength as well. So a sumo squat for most of you, you could probably pick up, you know, your body weight almost. So I want you to get something nice and heavy. When we're doing those, we're going to come down with knees out, feet out. And we're trying, I want you to think about having the bottom here. If this is the comfort, sort of, I can get to here, but I can go another inch, even though it feels tough. I want you to get that second inch, okay? Then we're going to do some lunges where we have 2 mismatched weights. Our weights, one is overhead, so that's obviously lighter, and one is down in that suitcase, so that one can be heavier. And we will come down and back up. Then we're going to do a bent over row hold. So that is basically us into a good hinge position. And we will hold as we do our rows. I know that not all of you have matching weights, so I will give us the cue for that one when we get there. But it basically looks like super long back, braced position, like we're in a plank, and doing those rows. So let's get started with our sumo weight. everyone grab a heavy 1 or 2 bells. If you are using 2 different ones, I'll tell you halfway so you can switch your grip, but truly use the heavy ones. Let's see how it goes. All right, I am not, because then I can talk. So let's get started here. Picking up that weight. Here we go. Knees glide right over your toes, which are all out. Good. If this is your comfort zone, you've got another inch. Whoo, good. If you can come down and touch the ground with your weight, super, try it. I don't want you to be sore for 4 days, but I do want you to challenge yourself here. All right, 10 more seconds. Push through the heels as you come up. And 3, 2, great. All right. So now we're on to those lunges. These lunges, if you're doing them right, should feel really hard. So we're going to do just 5 per side. I want you to have 1 weight overhead, 1 weight down. Balancing these will be hard. Holding yourself up braced well will be hard. So let's do it. Okay, everyone get into position with me. 1 arm is up. Knuckles to the ceiling. We're not starting yet. Knuckles up to the ceiling. Glutes are tight in this hold position. Okay, here we go. We're going to do 5. Step back with the side that has the suitcase hold. There's 1, 2, 3. Good. 4. And 1 more. Nicely done. Okay. Whew. Those are hard for me. Let's switch our position. And remember, we're going to hold first, making sure we're in that good posture. All right, everyone getting up there, check the top first. So that means knuckles up to the ceiling. All right, here we go. Stepping back with the suitcase side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and nicely done. 5. All right. Definitely was trying to keep that arm up, and I could feel it coming down, down as I was going through. All right. So now we're at those bent over rows. So we are going to, I'll do it by time since I know not everyone has the matching set. If you don't have matching, you can do a lighter and a heavier, staying in this position and then switch halfway through. But we're going for this position. Everyone, before you get even your weights, if you wanted to try it or just get in with your weights, just holding this position, I want you to feel your abs, your whole torso, your whole trunk is bracing. Now we're going for it. Everybody ready? Let's do it. I'll tell you at the halfway. Here we go. I'm breathing loud as a way to remind you, getting in those good breaths. As you lift, that's where you get the breath. Good. And switch sides if you need to switch. Otherwise, just keep at it. Yeah. Okay. Everyone's got matching weights on the recording, I guess. I think it looks like it. 5 more seconds. And good. Nicely done. Okay. That was our main set. We're going to go through it 2 more times. So we're going back to the top with those sumos. All right. This is the time of year where I feel like it's hard sometimes to tell effort on something. You're like, am I working hard at this or am I just sweating a lot? So remember that when you're feeling like, oh, this is so hard. Maybe you're just sweating a lot, right? Because it's hot. Okay. Let's get our weights in hand. Not to say that being hot isn't hard, right? Makes everything harder. Okay, here we go. Come on down. See about that 1 more little bit. And good. Good. Remember I said pushing through the heel. That doesn't mean you're not using your big toe, right? Your big toe is making connection, the ground. You should actually feel a pretty good arch here. Your foot should feel like it's working, but you're really focused on that push through the heel that engages the glutes. Good range of motion, everybody. And 5 more seconds. 3, 2, nicely done. All right, so now to those lunges. Getting the weight that feels right for you for 5. So that overhead weight is probably a similar thing that you use for the squat to press in the first step. Suitcase is as heavy as you can do without knocking yourself down. All right, let's get our weights up. Let's hold this position. Check your knuckles. They're facing up to the ceiling, not to the wall. Glutes are tight here. We're braced. Now let's go for it. 1. We're going for 5. 2. 3. 4. Yes. And last one. All right. Well done. Whew. Switching sides. All right. When you're ready, let's get into our hold position. Weights up, knuckles up. We're braced, glutes tight. Let's go. 1, 2, really keep that arm punched up. I'm talking to myself here. 3, 4, and nicely done. Woo. Okay. Bent over rows. If this felt like this is not going to be good on my back, then I want you to instead doing a supported bent row. So that is holding on to a couch or a chair. But if this feels like too much for your back, well, you can lower your weight. Or if you still want to get in that good work, but it's a little bit hard for your back, don't hurt your back on these. Hear me, everybody? So do what you need that feels within you. All right, here we go. Everyone's got weights in hand, shoulders back. Shoulders stay back as we come into our hinge. See, shoulders are back. Here we go. Good. Keeping elbows in. Keeping breathing going. Keep being a superhero. Yes. All right. Switching sides or switching weights if you need to. Nice. Good. Really come all the way up and squeeze for a second. Don't rush through. 5 more seconds. All right. So wait. Okay. That was 2 times through. Get a drink of water. We're going through for the 3rd and final time. All right. Em, you're going to have to tell me what's going on with your knees over there. Got some sports wrap things going on. I don't love that. Don't love seeing that. That means something's going on. All right. We are back to our sumo position. Making sure knees and feet are tracking. So if you look down, if you just looked at one side, you know, your knee comes right between your big toe and your second toe. All right, everyone's pelvis, shoulders, and the weight are all in a line. So shoulders stay back. Here we go. Come on down. Good. Nicely done. If you feel like, boy, I wish my weight was heavier, you can put it up here. That will make it feel heavier since you have to brace. We put it down because then we can hold the most and heaviest stuff. All right, 10 more seconds. Good. Get in really good final reps here. 3, 2. Yeah, all right. Okay. Lunges, lunges, lunges. Okay, if for some reason these are feeling tough, modify as needed. You know all the modifications for lunges. If you need assistance in modifying, just put it into the chat. I will help you with that. But you can modify by not doing the overhead. You can modify by having your weight less in that suitcase position. You decide. Let's start in this hold. All right, everyone get into your hold. Shoulder, knuckles up, glutes tight, braced. Here we go. And we're doing 5 again per side. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Just 1 more. Strong, strong, strong. Nice. All right. Woo. Need some windshield wipers on my forehead here. Okay. Other side. Let's get into that hold position. Everyone join me here. Arms up, glutes are tight, knuckles to the ceiling. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And yes, 5. All right. Whew. Okay, the last and final part of our main set. We've got those rows. For this time, you guys know what to do with that bent over position. I want you to now think about getting hips back. So you can see I'm in this bent over position, hips back. You really can't detect it, right? I'm sort of not hips back, I'm hips back. It's maybe an inch, but it's a weighted feeling. So I want you to get into that feel that your hips are back. It'll be a little more weight through your heels, but keeping that bracing all through your trunk. All right, here we go. Weights up, shoulders back, hinge it over. Here we go. Hips back, elbows in. Keep that bracing. If this is hurting your back at all, you are done, and now you get to hang out and relax. Otherwise, you can switch your weights if you need to, or switch sides. Awesome. Keeping your neck in line, so you should be looking down, not up. I know I am looking up, looking at the looking at you guys. And 3, 2, whoo, well done. All right, good work. Get a drink. Of course, we've got our one more set, explosive set here. So this is a set where we're going to be working on power. So for power, we've got first is our pop cleans. So the pop cleans you can do with a kettlebell or with a dumbbell, but we're aiming for we'll start the weight with the weight between our feet, and then we're trying to come whoop, up here. So you can see the weight is sort of flying between here and here and weightless. I am not doing this, right? I would love it if you had a weight that you could not lift like that. So for me, for example, 45 pounds, I can pop clean, but I could not just lift that way. So the idea is that you need to have that real explosive hip movement, and that gets that weight up and weightless. So you pick the weight, but something heavy is good. Then we're going to do jumping lunges. So that one, we do not need any weights, but we will do this lunge here. If you are not jumping, I want you to focus on low swings. So those are where we come into this low position, hamstrings engaged, hike like we're hiking a football and coming back. And then the third thing, we will do lateral jumps, which mean we're going side to side and our weight is making a rainbow of happiness from hip to hip, okay? Again, if you're not jumping, we can still do that same motion with a duck under. All right, let's start with the pop cleans. Enough of me talking. Pop cleans, we are going to do 30 seconds of those. So that feels like a lot. Just give time between your reps. All right, so first things first, nice tall position. Weight is in between your arches of your feet. Come on down and let's go for it. Good. Karam, try having your weight this way instead. That might feel better. Then you can really make it fly. Good. And 5 seconds. 3, 2, all right. Jumping lunges or low swing. So you decide. We're just doing 20 seconds because both of these are things that you can overdose on in about 10 seconds. So we're going to just keep it to 20 seconds. So everyone get into your position. If you're doing a low swing, you should be out here, chest up, face up. Here we go. Jumping lunges. We're just going for good power and deceleration. Same thing. We're doing those low swings. Good, you're halfway there. Good, those low swings are not easier than this. They're just no jumping. 3, 2, nicely done. All right, everyone right now should have their legs feeling some regret of their life choices, then perfect. All right, so now we're gonna go for those lateral jumps. If you don't wanna do the duck unders, you could also just do a side step, or truly you could stand firmly in place and get the same lateral motion because we're working our obliques. All right, here we go. And I'll show you all of the variations. Here's one. Other one. You're not letting the weight come behind you. You're resisting rotation, getting good jump. Or duck under. All right. And 5 seconds. And all right, done, done, done. All right, sorry. I realize I'm probably impossible to follow since I am doing all of the variations, but you guys have been doing this for a while. Glad you're here and know what to do. All right, drink of water. We're going through that 2 more times. All right, so the pop cleans, that's the one where we want real heavy. I know I'm not giving that an example, but the heavy is so our hips have to do the work, not our arms. Our arms will have to do the work when we're at the top because we're bracing it and holding it, but the easy part is that our hips do the work and it shoots up. Here we go. Good. Shoot that weight up with your hips. Pop. Really push the ground away. Standing in a good position at the top. So you're here, never here. Don't turn into a C, everybody. You're an I. 5 seconds. 3, 2, all right. Next is our low swing or jumping lunges. Totally up to you. There's no good answer to this one, right? No easy way out. All right, if you're doing the jumping lunges and you notice you're starting to go out of your lane, then next time, or just stop for this time, and next time do the low swings. Here we go. Good, we're going for power through our hips, those low swings, work quads, hamstrings, same as this. Awesome. And just like that, 5 seconds. And done. Woo. Okay. Makes my face itch. Those are hard. Lateral jumps. We're working our obliques on this one, however you choose. All right. Everybody ready? Weights up. By jumping, we make our weight feel heavier because it's flying through the air. By standing here, we have to really resist rotation. So both of them are a good answer. And as long as your weight is heavy enough, this will be a challenge. Good. 5 more seconds. 3, 2. Oh my goodness. All right. So Brian just bought a massage gun. You know, the thing that you like put on your muscles and you're like, blah. Anyway, I'm very much looking forward to having that for breakfast this morning. Haven't tried one really for very long. So looking forward to that. If you guys have one, you have to let me know. If you think it works, if you like it. All right. We are getting our last round, half cleans. So clean. That's probably not a word anyone would use to describe me right now, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Getting in our position, let's do it. Good. Back is braced. You should not feel any pain in your low back. It should not feel like anything. All the work is coming from your hip, pushing forward, just like we're doing a swing or a broad jump. All the same moves here, all hip work. 3, 2, done. All right, those are donezo. So now we've got just 2 things left, jumping lunges or the low swings and our lateral jumps. Do not feel like if you did the lateral jumps both other times, you have to, or sorry, the jumping lunges, you don't do them again if you don't want to, but let's get in position and go for it. Low swings or jumps. Nice, and Sarah doing those low swings. How to make 20 seconds last forever, right? And we are almost there. 5 seconds ago. And 3, 2, nicely done. All right. Whew. Last thing, lateral jumps. If you're feeling like your jumps are getting sloppy, don't jump. It is truly the same target market here when we just hold on tight and move. So up to you, but I don't want you getting sloppy for our last 30 seconds. Let's get our weights up, stand tall. Here we go. Good. If you're just standing there, hip to hip to hip. Good. Sorry, I shouldn't say just standing there. If you're standing there resisting rotation, which there's nothing just about that, but if you are not moving just as hard, just making sure, going hip to hip, 5 seconds to go, and 3, 2, oh boy. Yes, done. Okay, last thing is you have to make some kind of like, yeah pose. Yeah. Done. All right, let's do just a couple moves to help ourselves bring down our heart rates, bring down our respiration, and just get in a couple stretches. So let's finish where we started with those step backs. So go ahead and join. Thumbs come back. See if you can feel a difference between where your heel was in the beginning of the workout and where it is now. Maybe you feel like, oh, I can get my heel totally back. Whereas before I was all warm, it wasn't coming back. I can definitely feel a difference with mine. My heel's coming down much lower than it was. All right, for the next 2, think about raising up your rib cage. So you're really getting another inch of space. And then let's stop there. And I want you coming forward. Hamstrings here. Some hamstringers. Want you to think about pushing your chest towards your hamstrings, but keeping your shoulders back. Your back is nice and long. Good. And then, of course, because why not? Let's finish with some alternating lotus. If you are very sweaty, it will be almost impossible. But let's prove our excellent balance even after we are tired and sweaty. Go ahead and switch as feels good. You're trying to come down and then see if you can just, one more inch, get into that, sink into that position. Excellent. You guys are all looking good, but if on the recorded, if you're feeling like, well, these are terrible, just go on the ground and do them. Totally fine. Oh, there goes me with that just again. Go on the ground and do it, not just. Got it. I got to erase that word out of my vocabulary. It bums me out when I hear people, I'm just doing the 50K, or I'm just doing 10 miles, or I'm just whatever. No, it always minimizes us, right? Don't need to minimize. Maximize. All right, last thing, get into a wide stance. Let's fold over here. Fingers, if they're not touching the ground, they're sort of aiming for it. Relaxing your arms, relaxing your neck, relaxing everything. Feel that stretch all through your posterior chain. Roll it up when you're ready and you are done. If you don't need to rush off to work or anything, this is a great time to foam roll. You're warm. You can get into a couple cat-cows, whatever it is. Otherwise, run off, do your thing, drink lots of tea today or coffee, whatever, and have a good one. Cheers to the weekend.